gorgeous! So nice to have you. Welcome to the Your Business Your Way podcast. I'm your host, Shadia Janssen, speaker, writer, freedompreneur, and lover of all things fun. Most importantly, I'm a business coach where I help coaches make their first $5,000 and beyond in business. I help them do it their way. On this podcast, I keep it real, teaching you the mindset, strategy, and spirituality needed in order to succeed in business. It's like giving you all the colors so you can create your beautiful artwork your way. So let me tell you a secret. If you head on over to heyshadia.com, you can access the first 5K in coaching toolkit. It includes meditations, masterclasses, guides, EFT tapping, and a bunch of other stuff just for you to make your business successful. Ready? Let's get this party started, baby. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Your Business Your Way podcast. Let's talk about failing to reach your goals. I feel like this is something that is not spoken about often, in the sense that everyone talks about the law of attraction, positive thinking, and so it's all about set your goals, go for them, believe in it, and it will happen. And even when you ask, these positivity coaches or these coaches that really believe in what they're saying, like if you ask them, what if it fails? They're like, no, don't think about failure at all. Just set your goals, go for it. And then when you don't, if it happens to be that you did not reach your goals, they're like, oh, you didn't believe properly, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, all these different things. Now, I'm somebody that has been extremely open and extremely honest about the fact that I have struggled in my journey to build up my coaching business. Honestly, I believe everyone has struggled in one way or another. The struggle might be different. The hardships might look different to every single person. But in actuality, it happens, right? And I feel like it's something that needs to be spoken about. Luckily, I am an expert at failing. I'm an expert at launching things and not reaching my goals. I'm an expert at the disappointment, the struggle, the hardships of building a coaching business. So, here's what I've learned. And this is what I've been practicing that has been really, really working very well for me. It's a quote that my friend Christy shared with me, and it says, marry the process, divorce the outcome. I'll repeat that. Marry the process, divorce the outcome. It's pretty similar to what some people call the law of detachment. If you've ever read the book by Deepak Chopra, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, I might have some words wrong in that title. But in there, like the first thing he talks about is the law of detachment, which is you set an intention. You believe that it's going to happen, but it is important to detach from the outcome. Why is that? It's because the universe always gives you what is best for you, right? And it always gives you what you need in order to get to your destiny. You've probably heard of spiritual coaches or spiritual people that say, ask for this or something better, this or the highest good of all. If we are in that place of believing that the universe has our best interest at heart, that everything works out for our best interest, everything is happening for us and not to us, then failure is going to happen. It is part of the journey. It is not something to be focused on and stay there. But unless you learn how to deal with failure, how can you know how to deal with failure, right? And this is my issue with all the gurus out there that do not talk about failure, because people are struggling to deal with failure. They're struggling to deal with things not going the way that they intended it to be. Now, for many years, I would say years, a year and months, that I've been in business and I've launched things, I would really, each time, I would pull myself together, really believe that this is going to happen. I would pull all my resources together, put in all the work, make sure that it happens. And there were times that I was extremely successful, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. And some of those times I had no idea what I was doing. However, there has also been different times where things did not work out the way that I wanted to. And the problem with being too detached with the outcome is it hits you like a ton of bricks when you do not sell the way that you wanted to. When you do not sell out all your coaching spots, when you do not sell out everything for your group coaching or your course or whatever. It sucks, right? There's no other way to put it. It really sucks, because when you put everything into something and it doesn't work out, that's when all the negative feelings rush in. You're not good enough. Did you do this enough? Did you do that enough? Do you even know what you're doing? Do you have enough support? Is your audience big enough? Did you communicate right? Did you use the right colors? Were you active enough? Did you take too many breaks? Or were you too stressed? Were you in the wrong vibration? Was that being communicated, right? All these questions start pouring into your brain, and you're like, okay, which one of them is it? And I've spent many, many time trying to figure out what I did wrong. Now, do you see where I'm going here? Instead of looking at what I did right, instead of believing again or mustering up that faith that it will work out again, I spend all my time crying. And it wasn't always like real crying. It was at times, but not all the time. I spent all my time pouting. I think that would be the right word. Pouting that I do not have blank. And the blank would always be something different. Sometimes it's knowledge, sometimes it's worth, sometimes it's strength, physical strength, mental strength, the wrong vibration, like the wrong aura, whatever that is. But here's what I noticed. The amount of time I've spent pouting over something not working out is pretty much equal to the amount of time I've spent actually doing something that could possibly work out. Do you know what I learned the most from doing something? Pouting, not so much. Pouting does not teach me anything except to feel sorry for myself, to feel like a victim, and all those things. Now, we all have experienced that. I wouldn't say it's necessarily wrong. It's part of the human experience, especially with all the baggage that we all carry. I mean, we all have limiting beliefs. We all struggle with feeling good enough. Oh, can we do it? Can we not? All these feelings. So the feelings will come up. The truth is, or the question is, how long will you stay there? The quicker you can move away from the pouting and into more action into the next inspired action, the quicker things can happen for you. There's this coach called Amanda Francis. I really love listening to her because when I started listening to her, she believed all the opposite things that I've ever believed. However, it felt like what she was saying was true. Something that she says is if things did not work out, keep selling, keep going. And that never made sense to me because it's like, okay, no matter how she explained it, it didn't make sense to me. Now it makes sense. And it didn't make sense, probably for the same reason it's not making sense to you. And that is, if I have an offer and I say I'm launching from this day to that day, and it didn't sell, and especially if I vocalize that deadline in my launching strategy, saying, the program opens on so and so date arrives, and either I did not have all the people that I wanted to, or nobody signed up, what do? How can you continue selling, quote unquote, if you said that this program closes on a particular deadline? How? And that's where I now know from my own experience from going through this many a time that it's important to go deep within. Go to your connection to source. And different people see this connection differently. My friend Andrea sees it as a column of light. I see it as a garden. Some people see it as like real conversation with God. Some people get feelings. It doesn't matter whether you do it where you get there through meditation, through EFT tapping, through dancing, through prayer, through the Bible, whatever way you have to use to get there. Find your way of getting there. And once you're there, find out what your soul, God, universe, all of it together is calling you to do next. Sometimes it may be to say, hey, I did not fill this program. I'm going to extend the amount of time people can sign up for it. That could be your aligned action. Other times it could be that you should close that and wait. Or it could be that you should close that program and launch something else. Or you might find a way to be reaching out to specific people. I don't know what will come from it. But it is important to find that connection, that alignment. Because without it, there's too much options, honestly. Like for me, that's the biggest issue with not being in alignment. I don't know what to do. Should I continue marketing? Should I continue doing this? That coach says do this. That expert said do that. And I don't know what to do until I go inside and deeply within and find the answer. And once you know the answer, that's when it's time again to marry the process and divorce the outcome. It's not A equals B. I know that's how people teach it. I have probably communicated that many times because it's how we're taught, it's how we communicate. But the reality of it is, it's all about going within. Yes, set your goals, okay? Because this is probably something you're wondering. Should I set goals or should I not set goals? Dream. Nobody's keeping you from dreaming. Dream as big as you can dream. But leave room for miracles. And leave room for all that big dreams, for all those big dreams to actually come true. That's what it means to detach from the outcome. Because once we're so attached with this is the only way we can get to where we want to go, we limit ourselves. We limit the universe. And we limit what is possible. So the process is important. The process of communicating clearly. I mean, that is basic business. If you're not communicating clearly, nobody can understand what you are selling or what you have to offer, and nobody's able to buy from you. Communicating it often, which is the marketing side of things, making sure that people hear about it, right? That is still part of the equation. That is the process, right? Making sure you have beautiful graphics or communicating it through visuals, especially in the online space, creating a funnel, which I know some people see it as a bad word. I don't see it as that. I see a funnel can be many different things, not just the send email, sign up, go through this email, upsell, downsell, blah, 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 blah. That is a certain type of funnel. But there are simpler funnels as well, which is something I talk about very much in depth in my course, Epically Aligned to Marketing, which you can find inside the Lady Coach Lounge, which is an amazing membership if you're interested. But the basics of business need to be there, which is something else you get inside the Lady Coach Lounge. I wasn't even going to talk about Lady Coach Lounge, but here we are because it's so amazing and it gives you everything to basically increase your hourly rate as a coach, because it teaches you how to save money, how to make more money, how to save time figuring shit out. So Lady Coach Lounge is amazing. You can check it out on my website, but I'll leave a link in the description as well. But yeah, those are the processes that needs to happen. The marketing, the sales, the branding, the communication, the connection, the clarity on your message, the clarity on what you do, understanding who your soulmate client is, communicating with them, all that. Those are the processes. Marry them. Believe that you doing that will bring you to the outcome, but divorce the outcome in the process. Let go of what it is so that you can continue doing the processes until it brings you to where you want to go. Obviously, you do need to know what the processes are and how to apply them. That's what you teach. That's what I teach inside the Lady Coach Lounge, as I mentioned. What happens when you put those processes in practice doesn't matter. If you really believe that the universe has your back, it will really have your back, really. In all the failures that I've experienced, in all the failures that I said I'm such an expert in, I should be done because I failed so many times. I made so many mistakes in the process. I should be done, like down and out on the streets, no money left to my name, quitting business, quitting what I do. But there's something called grace, and the universe has my back. So every time that I failed and I was like, what now? Somehow I was provided for. Somehow I got taken care of. And had I really divorced the outcome, as I'm teaching you to, and continued applying the processes, I would be a lot further right now. Or I'll be where I would have been where I'm at right now a year or so ago. But it didn't happen because I had to learn my lesson. And because I learned my lesson, I can now teach it to you. So this is for the highest good of myself because I can now teach it, but it's also for the highest good of you. If you listen, of course. I believe you were brought to this episode for a reason. That's been the lesson. If you have any questions about what has been said in this episode, feel free to hit me up in my group, Free Spirit Lady Coaches, on the Facebook. You find me there. You can ask any questions you would like. I absolutely love answering all the questions and giving people love, because my goal is to see as many coaches succeed as possible. All right, that was another episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye. Yo, that was another episode of Your Business Your Way podcast. Before you go applying all the goodness you learned in this episode, please hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss another episode. Also, I would really appreciate if you would take a screenshot of you listening to this and tag me on Instagram or Facebook at HeyShadia. I would really appreciate that. See you next week. Much love. Bye-bye.